Hello, everyone. My name is TJ Warren. I work at the University of Northern Iowa in Career Services. I am a 2008 and 2011 alum, and I'm excited to be joining you today. I do lots of drawings in my free time. I started picking up drawing again when I was about 10 years ago. And so I really like to draw superheroes. Obviously, you can see the super things behind me. I'm a huge Superman fan, but I'm also a big TC Panther fan, and that's what we're going to be drawing today is TC Panther. I was actually TC Panther back in 2010, 2011. So I have a little bit of boogie in my feet at all times, but excited to be drawing with you today. So all you really need is a piece of paper, a ruler, and some sort of writing utensil. I suggest a pencil first. You can always go over this in marker or ink afterwards. So we'll go ahead and get started. So here is how we're going to draw our TC Panther. We're going to draw a line just down the middle of the sheet here. And then we're going to put a couple of etch marks. And these are going to be ones that we're going to erase at some point. But I want us to start first at the top. That's where the top of TC's head's going to be. And we're going to put one right about here where TC's top of his nose is going to be. And then right around about right here. And so these are our lines just to kind of give us some guidelines for where the mouth and head are going to be. All right, so TC Panther. So what we want to first do, I always like to draw his mouth first because that's just the most ferocious and fun part. So what we're going to do here first is I'm going to draw kind of a half circle, and we're going to give it a curvature. In some ways, you're going to have kind of a heart shape here with his mouth. And you'll notice that when I'm sketching, I've got just kind of these funky lines here. I kind of just sketch it out. It doesn't have to be perfect at first. We can always go back and then, make it sharper. So again, kind of making a half heart here, or half heart here on both sides. When we put it together, this is the upper part of TC's mouth. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go down from TC's mouth here off to the left-hand side. We're going to kind of scoop down. We're going to go to the bottom of the line that we traced earlier. So we have kind of this half circle started, or a quarter circle, and we're going to connect these together. Here we've got TC's mouth, bottom lip. You know what? You could do, there's two variations of TC. You can do them with a closed mouth or with his mouth open. What we're doing is with his mouth open. So this is the lowest part of his lip. Next, we're going to go just underneath that line and kind of do the same thing. So you've got his lip here. And there we go. We've got his lower lip here. Now we need to give him some teeth because TC's ferocious. All right. So his teeth here, we're going to just do two on the top. And these are sharper, okay? His top teeth are sharper than his bottom teeth. These are the ones that are going to look really ferocious, and the bottom ones are going to be just fine. They're not as scary. So, all right. So we've got these that are going to be just kind of almost like a rounded, I don't know, start to a rectangle or something like that. Boy, describing for drawing is tough. Never done this before. Anyway, we're going to draw his tongue here, then in the middle. And this is where that line that we drew earlier, that's where we're going to put the tongue where it's going down to. And you'll see here by our line, we've kind of already got like the line of his tongue already built in. And so we'll come back to that in just a little bit. All right, so there's his mouth. Now we're going to his nose. So TC's nose is really interesting because it's kind of like Superman, if you will. He's got kind of this Superman logo shaped nose. And so I'm just going to draw out here to the side, and we're kind of creating a rounded diamond at the top. And TC's got a little bit more round of a nose on the edges, and they're scooping back in. So it's kind of a funky TC, or a Superman symbol, if you will, for TC, but almost like a really wide water droplet of some sort. Okay, so we've got his nose there. We've got the mouth. Now I'm going to move up to the head, right? The top of TC's head. So TC has kind of this interesting, it goes kind of at a circle, goes inward, and then back down. We make kind of this mountain shape. And so here with TC's head, we're going to go up and above, and then we scoop down a little bit. So you see it's kind of this not very like jagged mountain ridge, almost like a little hilly at the top of his head. So that's the top of his head. And we might even bring this down a little bit further because we want his head to go into his fur here. So next we've got his fur. And TC has these two furry spots off to the right and to the left, kind of serving as a big whiskers. So we're going to dip down here and right about where the middle of his top part of his mouth and the bottom of his mouth meet. We'll do the same to the other side. And there we have it. So there we've got still these two other spots down here at the bottom to be drawing in. And they're like kind of like wings almost. TC's got wings on his face. And you'll notice, it might not be perfect to begin with. That's what drawing's all about, is trying to shape it out, see what it looks like. And at the end, you can always make it more permanent. So if you mess up at some point, don't just throw it away. Keep working at it, because eventually it will find its shape. I always find, too, when I'm going back to ink it, it looks a lot sharper than it does here in pencil. So now what I'm doing is you'll almost see with the line that we drew earlier, we're going to kind of draw a Y leading to it here. And what this is going to be is TC's eyes. So again, I'm not perfect here. I want to make sure that they're kind of lined up. So with TC's eyes, it's interesting. He looks a little angry and ferocious, yet he's very kind. So we do want to give him kind of some ferocious looking eyes here. And they're going to be like orange slices in some ways, kind of a half circle on both sides. Somewhere in there. So, and then with TC's eyes, it's really kind of simple. We just draw a big circle with him on the, kind of right hand side of the left and left hand side of the right. And if you want to give him like some sort of reflection in his eyes too, we draw just a mini circle up in the left hand corner of the circle you just drew. And we're going to fill that in because he's got those big black ferocious eyes. Going to do the same on the other side. Get our circle for reflection and fill in the rest. And TC has really colorful eyes. This is the other thing you can do rather than just sketching it and going over it in ink. You can go through and color them if you want to. So he's got these interesting colors that go off of his, I'm struggling with like the word for eyes right now, like the different parts of the, anyway, just draw the lines with me. We'll just stick with that. That'll be good. So we've got these two lines on, the other sides of the big circles that we just drew. And so if you ever want to color this, the purple's in here, I believe, and we've got some yellow and then your white as well. That's typically what TC's eyes look like. But if you want to color whatever color you want, that's totally cool too. So we've pretty much got his face here put together. Now he needs some ears because panthers have ears. So we're going to draw some ears here. So kind of some rounded triangles essentially is what we're looking at. Up here at the top, and if you want to give TC's ears some definition, it's just a simple line right there in the mix. I'm going to do the other side now. Again, kind of a rounded triangle up at the top. And there we go. Now, it's kind of interesting just having his head there. I like to give TC a net because he has one, essentially. So let's go ahead and put it in here. Just some kind of lines diagonally off the side of his mouth at the bottom. And we'll give him some muscle neck here too. Kind of curvature down. And right now, he looks like he's not wearing any clothes. We need to get some clothes on. So let's put him in a t-shirt. So a t-shirt's pretty simple. Just a net line. right there. And we're going to do another one, kind of like we did with the mouth earlier. With a t-shirt, you kind of have those lines that are on your collar. So we'll draw some of those in too. And there we have it. We have our TC head. And like I said, you can go over it in ink. You know, I typically will do like a Sharpie, although put something underneath it. Kids, if you don't, you just don't want to mark up the table or anything. So, you know, you can go over it in marker to your own desire. And this is where we can get, you know, a little bit more of the definition and define the lines that we have. So don't feel like you have to do that right at the beginning. That can be something that you do afterwards. So yeah, I'm not going to do all of that right now. I'm going to let you kind of do that on your own. But that's essentially how you can draw a really quick TC Panther. So thanks for watching this video and have a lot of fun. Go Panthers.